Me, what's up, peeps? Anyone listening, watching, now or in the future? Yeah, not live till, well, I'm live now, but I'm not coming back until about 9:30. Trading myself, funny enough. Plus, I have some high-level liquids and solids to sort out. Let me just shut that up. There we go. Have some alarms going off in the background, whether you can hear them or not. Anywho, yeah, 9:30 I'll be back. If anyone's around, stick some questions in the chat, or don't. Not bothered. It's probably my last one. Every time I try and set these up, there's a couple of people ask, can I show them again and all that good stuff. No one joins, and it really infuriates me. I know people have got lives and have other things that they've got to do, but you know, just call me up if you've got my number, or send me a text, or get in touch on here, and I'll contact you when you have the time. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be joining on, but Paul, you're just annoying me. You're just asking for all this stuff and then not bothering to join on. I would have imagined, because it's not 9:30 yet. You might do, I doubt it. Anyway, so yeah, you'll probably see this screen for a while until 9:30. Come back at 9:30, peeps. I'm just doing a bit of testing before I go and empty my solids bag and grab a warm liquid beverage and, you know, everything else that goes with it. And I'll see you soon. Talk to you in a bit. Now, before I go, if anyone is watching this and in the future, and you're going to skip forward until the 26 minutes time, go and grab yourself a drink. You'll need a pen and a notebook, just to write down some stuff. I've got my trading notebook here, so I'll just write down all the trades that I take or will take, and I shall see you Sproglets in a bit. 24 minutes now. Okay, I'm in, starting 10 minutes early. I have shit to do and no one else is on, so yeah, cool. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, have a look at that, pause it, read it, or don't. Not financial advice, as always. Yeah, that stuff. Now back to it. So it has come to my attention. Hold on, let me just plug my phone in. I've got leads everywhere. And I didn't charge my phone up last night, so it's nearly dead. Anyway, it's come to my attention that a couple of... Well, let's start again. I am part of a couple of communities of traders. So there's a big trading community. I won't mention them. I'm sure that they will, want me to share this video with them anyway, so I won't say anything bad about them. But I'm part of a couple of trading communities, and trading communities are good for two reasons. One, if you don't know where to start, if you don't know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, if you don't have a trading strategy of your own, if you can't think of or come up with a trading strategy, they can give you some, one or two in particular, and you trade it well, you trade it as often as you can, and you'll be profitable. Yeah, no worries. That's one. Number two, it's a community. It's like-minded lunatics who are doing exactly the same as you. What I can't stand is those trading communities that are open to all strategies. There's just too much, and that's how I started. I started by trying to learn or use or trade lots and lots and lots of strategies. It didn't work out at all. I lost a lot of money. The first few years that I thought I was going to be trading. It turns out I was crap at it because I didn't know what I was doing. So trading communities are good for those two very good reasons, but there's a few other reasons as well, which we won't get into. And one of the trading communities that I am in, I originally joined them by paying the extortionate fees for joining, and then a monthly fee to listen to these guys basically go over what the strategy was. And I thought, well, I know the strategy, I'm doing the strategy, I'm still not 100% profitable. And I mentioned it to them, and they happened to listen, and they did a few things and changed one or two bits and bobs, and they were profitable. But when you figure out why they're profitable, it's not really for those people that start with a couple of £100 or dollars or euros or whatever, or a couple of thousand. It's rather than a pound a point, 50 pence a point, or fractional. If you're using TradingView or MetaTrader 4 or 5, whatever, you can do it fractionally in some instances. You can't become profitable and quit your job on a fractional betting or spread betting basis. You have to use large lot sizes or large betting amounts, which, off topic slightly, which is why it's tax free, because you're betting on the outcome of some numbers. That's all it really is, like betting on the horses. If you win £5,000 on the Grand National, you don't pay tax on that. If anyone listens in the future and you happen to be an accountant, let me know if I'm right or wrong, but that's betting. You've paid your money, you've paid the tax on that money already because it's a bet. If and when you win that bet, you don't have to pay the tax. That's my understanding. And that's the same for spread betting. Here in the UK, where I am, it's tax free. That might be different in other countries, areas, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Look it up on a search engine. Do your own research before you do anything at all. This is not financial advice. I am not telling you to start spread betting. Anyway, back on topic. Yeah, so it's pointless doing a pointless trading for yourself with very little money. And when I say very little money, I'm talking 500,000, 1,500, £2,000 is small money. Because if you put a bet on, a spread bet, and you think, for instance, this euro dollar is going to go down, if that's what you think, and we can get into that later on, and you put a pound a point on, if your stop loss has to be 60, 70 points away, that's 60 or 70 pound, a pound a point that you'll lose. I hope that makes sense. So that's 70 quid that you're going to lose if it goes against you. And you should always think every trade is going to go against you. You should always start off with, I'm putting a trade on, I'm going to lose that money. And if you don't, bonus. And if you make even more money than you were originally going to put on, that's your risk reward ratio has gone positive. Anyway, that's something for a different day. So if you're going to lose £70, 60, £70, but you're going to make 140, so that's a risk reward of 1 to 2. You're risking 1 to make 2. Groovy. You just made £140, let's say. Well, these guys were putting 15 to 18 more pound per point. So they were having, maybe 1,500, 600 pound stops. So yeah, if they lost, they'd lose their 1,500 quid. But if they won, they'd made 3.5. It was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward. So they'd be making 3.5 more probably on the trades they won. So they could live off of their trading winnings, on their spread bet winnings. Excuse me. However, the majority of people in most communities are fed, not a lie, that's a wrong word, it's not a lie, it's just misinformation. People aren't doing it intentionally, I don't think. Some companies might be. Certainly one or two that I joined early on, we're talking 15 years ago, they would do it. But the ones that I'm in now and the ones that I do follow, they are not trying to mislead people into thinking that you could quit your job with 500 quid in a spread bet account. And if they are, I've obviously missed it, please let me know, and I'll have a quick chat with others about it, but that's not how I see it. How I see it in the communities that I'm in is they're trying to show people how a trading strategy works. And one of them, again, I won't go into it, but one of them has a very, very straightforward point. And that point is, and it's like number 4 or 5, I can't remember. It's behind me on my board. It's number 5 on the board, on their points list. If you can make money, and they don't mean live off of it. If you can make money with £500 in your trading account, you don't look at the money, you look at the points. So if you're making 15R, that's your risk reward, so 15 reward every week, so that's 30 over 2 weeks, 60 in a month. If you make 60R in a month, let's say, regardless of the monetary value of that, that's profitable. If you're making 5R, 6R in a month, regardless of the monetary value, it's still profitable. But if you're coming out at 1R, 2R, minus 1R, it's not profitable. You can't sustain it. You can't do it. So the majority of these trading groups, these communities, they will go through a set of rules, and you follow those rules, you follow the plan, you stick to the strategy, and at the end of week 3, for instance, and I'm doing one for one of the companies now. At the end of week 3, you get an evaluation, let's say, and you have to submit all of your trades and your trading log and your trading plan, and you have to make sure that you've kept up to date with it. And if at the end of week 3 you are not profitable, it is pointless you carrying on. If the strategy is sound, and it is for most, and we'll get on to that in a second, for most people, for most strategies, it is sound, it is profitable. It's just the way that people implement it. Anyway, if the strategy is sound, but you're still not making a minimum of 1 to 2R, so 2R in that trading period, it is pointless you continuing. But I don't really believe, I'm not locked onto those numbers, those figures, the 2R, 3R, 4R, 15R, whatever. I'm not locked into that. I am locked into the fact that you can't make money and live off trading with £500,000 in a trading account. You can't do it. You can learn very quickly. You can become very knowledgeable very quickly with that money. And I used to demo a lot, but demoing doesn't really give you the emotions, doesn't give you the fear, doesn't give you the elation, doesn't give you the scared factor. Oh shit, I'm down to my last 300 quid in that account. Can I even afford to take that trade? Should I take that trade? It's not a perfect setup. I'm not going to do it. And then you should have done it because it would have doubled your account. The whole thing has to work off of a live account. Demoing doesn't give you that emotional manipulation. It doesn't change your emotions to the way it needs to be. And the way it needs to be is you don't care about the money. I've just realised I've not done my introduction. Morning, welcome to Mad Trading. I'm your host, Mad Trader, face for radio and a voice for silent film as always. This is not financial advice. Live on YouTube. It was going to be Facebook Live, but no one bothered ever in peace to say they were going to join. Not even the guys in Canada, which I'm quite annoyed at. They know who they are. Yeah, I can understand it though. I know why. I just don't agree with it. Anyway, so yeah, back to it. You got to have a trading plan. So that's what you're going to trade, when you're going to trade it, how and why you're going to trade it, and with what. So what the risk is going to be, at what time. The trade log, you've got to log every single trade. So that's why I said earlier, before we started, grab yourself a pen and a pad. You'll need to write this down. And that's not because you won't be able to remember it, because you won't be able to remember it, but it's not about that. It's about you logging. Some people call it journaling. I don't. It's logging the trades that you entered and the reason why. So, for instance, if I'm doing my crossover strategy, daily, 4 hourly, or whatever, and I enter a trade, but it looks like it might just about cross over, but it doesn't actually cross over, and I'm going to enter it anyway because it's obviously going to go up or down. And I enter it, and fun enough, the crossover doesn't happen. I'm an idiot. I entered a trade for no reason. There was no reason for me to enter that trade. And I have to log all that. So when I read back through and go, why did that one lose? Oh yeah, because I look at the date and go, oh yeah, because it didn't actually cross over. I didn't wait for that confirmation. There needs to be, so that's your reason, there needs to be time. You need to give trades time. People, the conversations I've had with people from other communities that I'm in, or that are, that I'm helping, shall we say, for a small fee. The conversation I've had with the people that are in that community is, why is it taking so long? Every time I jump into a trade, it always goes against me. I get stopped out, or it's going on and on and on and on and on forever. Well, yes, that's the whole point. And the smaller the time frame, so 5 minute, for instance, let's change over to 5 minute here. On the 5 minute time frame, you can still do the my strategy on the 5 minute, no problem. But the time frame means nothing. You're still in a trade for X amount of time, and if that takes you over a day, if it takes you past midnight, for instance, you've got swap fees, you've got daily charges, you've got other fees to consider. So yeah, if you're on a account with 500 euros in the account, and you've got a minimum of €1 spread bet requirement, as well as the margin needs. If you have a stop loss of 50, that's €50, £50, $50, whatever, that you're going to lose if it hits your stop loss. But if you've got a 1 to 2 and you make $100, euros, pounds, whatever, you're not actually going to get that £100. You've got swaps, you've got spread fees, you've got brokerage fees, you've got lots of other fees that you have to pay, which is why you cannot make money with £500, euro, dollar, whatever, in a spread betting account. It is for learning only, in my eyes. You can't make a living off of a 500 to 1,000, even £2,000 dollar, euro account. It just doesn't work. Like the big boys that own these massive communities, you have to have a lot of money to trade with. Now, don't get me wrong, having a 500, £1,000, euro, dollar, whatever account is extremely useful because you learn so much. You learn so much. You learn to look at money as it's just a thing. It's just a number. You don't need to care about it. You shouldn't care about it. Why should you care about the money? The money doesn't care about you. It's just a number. It's the reward that you get at the end that you should care about. For instance, if you had joined this trade, and I'll show you in a minute, if you'd have joined on this trade here from roughly here, you'd have been stopped out, or you'd have taken profit, should I say, roughly there. That's 846 points. Where's my calculator? Where's my calculator? Where is it? Stand by, I'm having a stroke. There it is, found it. Calculator. Yeah. So, let's say it's £1 a point. £1 a point, and you've got a 200 point stop, for whatever reason. So you're risking 200, and now you've made £864 or 864 points, which is the same thing. Over that length of time. Now that's 313 bars on the daily, so that's 313 days. Or 440 days over the actual time, because it doesn't take into account weekends or non-trading days. So 440 days, that's well over a year. Well over a year. And all you've done is made £864. But if you were to be trading, I don't know, let's go for an arbitrary £6 a point times 864, you've just made yourself 5 and a bit grand. But again, that's only over a year. 1 year. Now, that's not a lot of money for the year, or over a year. Nearly a year and a half. It's not really, is it? But let's go for just over a year. That's not a lot of money. So you would have to do, let's go for 25 times 864. 21 grand, roughly. You'd have your daily swaps, you'd have your other fees to consider and take out. So you might only come back with about 20 grand. But 20 grand in a year, that's good. It's not a full-time role, it's not a full-time job. But that's decent, isn't it? I think so. You do that 4 or 5 times in the year, you've just made yourself a very decent amount of cash. Now, if that is the year, that's groovy, standard. But what people don't understand is there might be times when you'll get into one of these trades and you're looking for it to go short, but unfortunately it takes you out and you've now lost 417 points, or £417 at a pound a point. So you were up 864 and now you're down to 400 and something. People are disheartened immensely by that. But if you just look at the numbers, 864 minus 417 is still up 400 and something. So don't look at the money, look at the points. Let's take a quick look at my strtategy. I hope that made sense. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it not only makes sense, but I hope it resonates with a few of you. If anyone's watching, listening, now or in the future, whatever, I hope it will. Definitely make sense. And if it doesn't, just get in touch. What are you doing? Go away. So I need to hide all of that. Where's my tree? Hide it. So my strategy on the daily is quite simple. It's quite simple. I have several strategies that I work with. A couple of them are automated. This one, for instance, is automated. Been running since just 2019. It's in a mediocre account. It's not a lot of money. It's not a little bit of money. It's middle of the road, and I can afford to lose that money if it all goes Pete Tong today. If the broker that I'm with, I'm no longer with a certain broker, I won't mention those names. If that broker were to go bang now and I lose all my money, it's not, for that automated account, and it's not a big deal for me. I can live with losing that amount of money. People might call me stupid, but I can live with not having it, no problem. So my the daily major strategy anyway for the automation is a crossover, and it's just a crossover when two moving averages cross above or below each other. I enter a trade. There my stop is somewhere, and then I don't get out until that moving average crosses back over again, and you have to wait for a confirmation. That's a down candle, so they're closed here. So let's look at what it may have generated. Let's go with boomsies to squish bang. So that would have made 292 points over 259 days, actual days, 185 trading days. Yes, it could have made a lot more. It could have made from there to here. Could have made nearly 1,000 points, 986 points. Could have, but that's not the strategy. The strategy that I've got, because I'm lazy, is this one. 297 points, and my stop would have probably been 200, so it's 1 to 1-ish, and it's, you know, it's not making huge amounts of money, but it is making returns, and that's on the daily. There's another couple of strategies that use the same kind of principle but on a lower time frame. So let's have a look at the 4-hourly. There would have been a cross below here, and we're still waiting for it to play out. A cross here, that would have been a stop out. There's more stop outs than there were. I mean, if we were to go back to let's go back to 2020, when the dreaded virus came along. Let's look at this. I remember it being a very decent time. Here we go. Very decent time for the strategy. Well, there you go. I mean, it goes on. It's the same before then. The things have changed. So here we go. There's a crossover there on the Thursday, and it doesn't stop until up there. So what would that be? Let's go there to here. There you go. It's only 166 days, made £884. And strategies have to change. They have to adapt. They have to. Well, you have to adapt with your strategy. You can't just have one strategy for life. It does have to change. It has to be dynamic. So I have to change my automated strategies periodically, and there's a lot of code that goes into it, and I've paid a lot of money out to people to write me some code. I'm not that brainy, although I do code some of my own. MT4, working on MT5 soon, but you know, it's easier, quicker to just get someone else to code it for you. But with these big trades, and £884, you know, it would have probably been 600 quid, 700 quid, something like that. On the one thing, you do get losses. That's a loss. That would have been a loss. That would have been a loss. So there's 1, 2, 3 losses in a row, then another big win. Maybe it's a little loss, then another, maybe it's a win. It could have been a loss. Maybe it's a small win. And it's just the way the market goes. It's the way things are. And I've seen a couple of people on YouTube do this. Let me just show you what I mean. Markets don't just do this. They don't do that. Markets do this. And they job about. They're not just linear. They're not just up or down. And in with that, either on a higher time frame, either on a lower time frame or within the same time frame, the candles would be doing this. So it's not exactly easy to depict where they're going to go, what's going to happen, how they're going to get there. You can't just expect, oh look, it's going up, so I'll enter there and I'll take all my money there. You don't know when it's going to stop. It could go from here to there, and it could have gone down a little bit, not gone underneath that moving average, and then shot off. Could quite easily have done that, but it didn't. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. It goes, you know, lots of ziggity zaggity. There's lots of, you know, price action, as it's called, boomsy, before you can take any money out. You don't know. What I'm trying to say, you can't just predict where it's going to get to, not with any real accuracy. You can, well, yeah, you can, but how it gets there, when it gets there, you can't predict. So you just go with the flow. You can't get angry at price action. You can't get angry at all of this lovely price action here if you got in there and thought, no, I should have taken my money out there. Well, what about if I take my money out there? Yeah, but then it went up even further. Yeah, but then I've lost a little bit of money from there to there. Yeah, you did, but not a lot. Not a lot. And what you made money in the long run. Which brings me on to another point. Trading isn't about now, today. It's not even about next week. It's about the long term. If you have someone who puts £1 a day into a high interest savings account, I don't know what the interest rates are now. I've no idea. Let's go for, it could be 4%. I've no idea. So you put £1 a day in, £1 a day into a high risk or high interest rate account, 4%. You're going to have £365 plus 4% in 1 year. It's not a lot, but it's on the right track, isn't it? So if you're unlike me and you are young enough and you have small children, as soon as they can, get them to start saving money into a high interest account. We started far too late, both saving for us and saving for our children, and started late getting the kids saving as well. But if you start early enough, they will not have to worry about money. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. I don't mean that they're going to be minted. I don't mean they'll be able to go and buy whatever they want. They won't be able to go off to Dubai for a weekend on a private jet and fly around in helicopters that they just crash and buy a new one. I'm talking they'll be able to easily afford car payments or their insurance, their tax. They'll easily be able to afford to go on nice holidays. All these people I see who want £1,000 a day, £1,000, £1,000, €1,000 a day, it's not feasible on the money that they have already. And when they've got that money, they don't save it. They splash it out and they buy a watch that they never use. They'll buy, the most expensive, bestest ever phone thing, and then it'll smash. The first time they put it in their tiny, tight trousered pockets, it falls out when they sit down, it smashes, and they go, oh, just buy another one. Well, what's the point? You need to save some money. I've waffled on, rabbited for so long. Has anyone joined? Nah, didn't think they would. Listen, it was going to be about a new strategy-ish, kind of, maybe. I won't go over that, won't go into it. Let's have a quick look at the markets. XRP, if you were not out of, this was a monster trade. This was an amazing trade. Speaking to a friend of mine, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? He called me up, I was trading away, and I'd caught this XRP trade to the short side. It was such an amazing trade that I even shocked myself, I think. Anyway, kind of new strategy for me. I'm learning still. I'm still getting my head around it, doing lots of back testing and trying to figure out the stats of it. But you don't want to know about that. What you want to know about, if you want to know anything at all, was where's it going? Well, there's a long-term trend. If you look at the current 200 moving average, let me that's not what I wanted. Let me cover that and hide. Thank you. If you look at the current moving average, right, let me bing bong that. Oh, your pants on a stick. It's not what I said. Anyway, it looks as though it's about to curve down, doesn't it? And what happened last time it curved down? Well, there was a longer push up than a tiny curve down, and price came down a little bit. Price has dipped down even further this time. On this one, there was a big push up. The 200 curved around. It didn't really turn down and curve back up again. Let's go back to, let's look at this one here. So that's April 24. Where's April? Here we go. And March, April 22. So same time last year, price plummeted down to 15. It's good, good time to buy. April 22. Oh, so it was in April 22. Oh no, it's April 22. April 23 then. March, April 23. Here we go. April 23. No curve and price bounced. April 22, which has been over that. April 21. Let's get to April 21. April 21. Price was at its all-time squeeziness and just fell. But when you look at it, every time that 200 has curved, so we're talking like that, and it's come down. Ooh. Yeah. And it's start to spin down. Price has followed. Where do I think it's going? I have absolutely no idea. I don't really care. I don't do predictions. I look at price action, and I will trade a small amount of money, certainly on crypto, over a short period of time. I want to say a small amount of money. I'm talking, a couple of £100 per trade. And I'm only looking for, on crypto, I'm only looking for 1 to 1.5 tops, really. Bitcoin, now, again, the friend I was talking to yesterday and a couple of other people, they're very, very bullish on Bitcoin. I don't know why. On the daily, let me get rid of this. On the daily, we are very much away from this 200 moving average. And I don't really understand the halving thing. I get it, that it's in with the code and whoever he is, Satoshi, whatever, Hitachi, whatever, they wrote it into the code for it to be on par with or stability for blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Yeah, nice one, like it. I don't understand why though. Still don't understand why. And I'm glad that it's going up, or has been going up. We bought a couple way back when, 17. So we were quite lucky to get in, to get 1 or 2. I didn't get a lot. I didn't think it was worth anything. I still don't. Still think it's a stupid thing, but it makes people money, and that's what counts. But anyway, look at this, right? So every time price has moved so far away from the 200 moving average, let's look at this gap. Let's go for, there's the high. I'm looking at this bit here. There's the high there. So 200 bars, roughly there to there. And again, I'm looking at this bit here. That's 2690, blimey, 71% away from that, right? Where's the highest point? Highest point would be here, just up there. So we get to the 200. 200 is there, roughly. Well, so if the other one was 71% or whatever it was, this is 68%. It's on its way down. It can't get too far from the average, and this is obviously the 200-day moving average, but it can't get too far away from the average line, the average price. Because if it were to do that, that would be a runaway Ponzi scheme. You know, one person buys it, sells it to someone else, who then gives him more money. They then go and buy two. The first person bought another one. It goes up and up and up and up and up. Just keeps going up. Doesn't come back down again. So if it's a real store of value, if it's a real thing that you can use and go out and buy your paper with in the morning, which I don't think it is. I still think it's a scam. I still think that this is just someone's drunken way of making him and his mates extremely rich by making everybody think that this is a really good thing and we should have a store of value against, you know, the dollar, the yen, the pound, the euro, whatever. And it really isn't, because you can't really buy anything with it unless you pay even more money. If you wanted to go and buy a paper and a pint, and not that anyone uses papers now, but you know what I mean, if you want to go into Costa and you want to get a cup of coffee and a muffin, and that might cost you, I don't know, £5.50, and if you've got a cash card on you, it costs you £5.50. It doesn't cost you any more. You tap that card on the pay machine, it costs you £5.50. If you have cash in your wallet, it costs you £5.50. If you go and buy a coffee and a muffin with Bitcoin, it will cost you the equivalent of £5.50 in Bitcoin, yes, but the transaction fee would probably be another 50p. I don't know. So you could have spent £5.50, but no, now you spent £6 because you wanted to use Bitcoin. It doesn't make any sense. And when you get to your 60s, 70s, 80s, I will never be there, but if you get to your 60s, 70s and 80s and everything's gone digital, if it's based on Bitcoin, not only will you not be able to afford to buy things in the shops unless it's extremely cheap, but when you do go to buy it, you will then have to, through your dementia crazed mind, you have to realise, oh shit, it cost me a tenner for that, but it's also cost me another £2 in transaction fees on gas, as it's called. I don't get it. Why does it cost me £12? And you'll be going off your nut. And you'll be screaming to get back to the normal value of money. And it won't happen. Because we're letting these people, these folk who think that digital currency is the way ahead, it really isn't. Buy it, hold it, sell it when it makes you a lot of money. That's all you need to do. Keep the cash in a very secure bank, and that's what you need. Anyway, my prediction is this is on its way down. If it breaks out this lower channel here, or this lower session break, it might faff about. Well, here you go. Here's what I'm reckoning. Bit of a dip, back up. Oh, what happened there? Go away. Bit of a dip down, back up a little bit. Why is it only doing one? Either way. Oh, I see. Idiot. Bit of a dip, back up a bit. Maybe a little bit down. Maybe another big up push to try and get everyone. Oh no, it's going long again, and then it'll come back down. Faff about, faff about, faff about, faff about. Maybe not as violently as this. But I would have imagined that price will get down to about 38,500. I'm going to say. So Tesla. Yep. So I've been into Tesla. I've bought, and this is on a different, I don't spread bet shares. I buy or sell the shares. I've been into Tesla. I remember talking to someone at my normal work. I have a full-time job as well. About Tesla and his genius. Obviously Musk, not Tesla, although Tesla was a genius as well. And it was round about the crazy virus time, and I bought quite a lot of shares there. Didn't even look at the technicals or look at the chart. I just bought a lot of shares. Thankfully, me being me, I got out when it was around about here. So there to there, made a nice bit of money. I've not been back in or out of Tesla for a while, but I would say that he's on his way down, or Tesla's on his way down, the company. And I don't mean it's just going to rocket down. I mean, get out of it. I mean, like this, it would be up a bit. No, up a bit. Oh, no. Up a bit. Yeah, we're going to buy. No, we're coming back down again. So I'm thinking up, maybe just a little bit. Down a smidgen more. No, we want more. No, we're not. We're going down. That's where I would have imagined. Maybe it's not down to minus 30 or minus $3 or whatever, but maybe back down to the $60, $70 point. And that's long term. That's how I would say. Shell, oil and gas were always good ones, certainly since Brent went negative and made quite a few rich lunatics. And because it changed, it used to have A and B, didn't it? And it's amalgamated and all sorts of things have changed. Because of all that, there's been a few changes to the shares as well. The dividends are paying quite well. So I buy Shell for the dividends. I don't sell Shell shares. I believe over long run, let's look at a weekly. Oh wow, yeah. Over the long run, this is, it's going to do some dipping and diving. It might even come back down again a little bit more, but over the long run, I think it's going to be well above the 28.36 or the current asking price. Looking 4 hourly, I don't know what this mad wick is, but if daily, if anyone had bought a Shell share at roughly 13.20, you're now sitting on 28.35. That's a lot of share that you can sell and make money. I believe it'll be popping down shortly. I would have imagined down to roughly 24.10. More people will pop and buy back in again, depending on the when it gets down here. So it's down to around about here in October. You've got the fourth quarter buys and sells. Large funds, hedge funds, banks, they need to pay people for Christmas, so they'll get they might start taking some profit by selling even more shares, or buying and then selling those shares onto their customers at a hike. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, it's been on a downtrend since October of 21. October 21. It's not due for a correction. That's the wrong way of putting it. But the way that the price action is working out, if you look at it, it's come down, same as here. So just put this here. It came down, made a bounce, jumped up, faffed about for a bit, made a quick jump up, and then made new lows. So mirror that. Low, went up, faffed about for a bit, jumped down, popped up, didn't make a new high, popped up, didn't make a new high, on its way down. I think it's going to make a new low around here somewhere before it makes a return up. Then as it does, I think it might buck the trend, as it were, and continue on higher. To probably at least make, let's go for, where's a 50? At least, get on there. You'll do. To at least back up to 65.08, maybe even a 0.25 on this one, which would be the 69.95. Go away. We've had a look at the euro, but the euro is a strange thing. That's a euro Aussie dollar, not the euro US dollar. It's a strange thing, is it bumps about quite a lot, and in 09 to 12 had a massive sell-off, and has been slowly nipping its way back up again. But that's what happens, by the way. Tidbit: when you fall down the stairs, you get to the bottom really quick, but to get up the stairs, you need to use your legs, and you need to walk up slowly so you don't fall back down again. So if it's below the 200, for me, that's a good chat. If it's been pushed away from the 200 anyway, it's a good insight as to where it's going to go. It's going to fall down the stairs, just keep falling. And to get back up again, there might be that initial, yay, oh no, hold on, mate, yay, oh no, I know, I'm too knackered, let me just have a hold on, yeah, oh no. So going up is longer than coming down. Currently, we are just above the 200, but please note that we are not failing, that's the wrong word, but we haven't made new highs. So there's a high here. That made new highs just, but then it failed. That high failed. So it hasn't made a new high yet, according to this bit. So I'm expecting that to fall over. Forget all this gumph here. Forget, you know, the day's range. Forget, you know, what the performance is or what people think. If 70-odd% of people who trade are losing money, and the majority of people are buying, where do you think the safe money would be? The safe money would be at their stops, which will probably be around here. So either sell it now with a a massive stop, but sell it to get here and then buy it up, or don't do anything at all. And we've had a look at it already, but the Aussie dollar, it's a strange one again. It does faff about on the higher time frame. On the shorter time frame, it's quite a profitable pair, if I'm honest. And I was going to go through this this new to me anyway trading strategy, but I won't bother. I haven't got time. It is now 10:15 in the morning. I've got shit to do, as I said to start with, and no one's bothered joining on. Got any questions? No. So if you're watching this in the future and you did want to go over some stuff, if you wanted to ask any questions, please do so. Hold on a minute, give me that. I'm not starting, I've already started. Please do so. Yeah, send me messages or texts. I'm not going to bother doing any more of this. I do small videos for the other two groups that I'm in with anyway, so that takes up some of my time, and I'd rather not expel any more energy than I have to, because I'm lazy. So any problems, any questions, give me a shout. Got any specific strategy questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to go over that with you. But for now, this is Mad Trader signing off. Have a really good day. Bye bye now.